Hey guys, I am in San Francisco, California this weekend lecturing to my favorite group of doctors, the American Academy of Pediatrics. I gave a sleep talk this morning and they had some wonderful questions. And of course, the question of melatonin always comes up. So let's dive in. When to use melatonin? So what exactly is melatonin? Well, melatonin is a hormone that's produced in the pineal gland of your brain that really is a signal to your brain that it's dark outside. So your body should do what it does when it's dark outside. Melatonin in and of itself does not have a huge amount of sleep-inducing properties, right? So if you had a whole bottle of melatonin, chances are you're not going to go into a coma. It just doesn't have that type of property. It really tells your body when it's dark and you should do what you typically do when it's dark outside. Interestingly, nocturnal animals that are awake all night also produce melatonin at night. And yet for their brains, melatonin tells them, okay, this is the time you should actually be awake. So the properties of melatonin itself is not a huge sleep-inducing nature to them. So now when should you use melatonin? Well, the data shows that for issues like jet lag, for shift work disorder where you're having to shift from day shift to night shift, and for delayed sleep-wake phase syndrome, which is a circadian rhythm issue that teenagers often face, melatonin is very effective. But there's not great data to support its use for other sleep issues, particularly for infants and toddlers. Most of those children have a behavioral issue that's causing their sleep challenges, and they have behavioral solutions. And so for a neurocognitively typical child, we do not use melatonin regularly in our infants and toddlers. Again, because the problems themselves don't merit using melatonin. What's the downside of using melatonin? Well, first of all, if it's a behavioral issue, then melatonin is just serving as a Band-Aid temporarily. Likely that behavioral issue is going to persist until you address it. So it's not going to be all that effective. Second, melatonin is not FDA regulated, so they can put whatever they want to in these bottles. So sometimes the dosage is not accurate based on what's labeled on the bottle. Sometimes there can be other additives, like serotonin has been found in melatonin bottles. So you want to be careful. Interestingly, in Europe, melatonin is a prescribed medication. You can't just get it over the counter. So just to kind of put things in perspective, it's not the most benign thing out there, and you want to use it only when it's indicated. Sleep physicians are probably the least likely to prescribe melatonin for infants and toddlers because there are other strategies to help. All right. Hope that's helpful. Sleep well, my friends.